families in the southwest with Fusion Fostering.
I'm Claire Short and I've been fostering for just over 3 years.
I'm Rachael, and I'm a new foster carer. I started in November last year, so 3-4 months.
I'm Rachael Bond and I've been fostering with Fusion for 4.5 years.
I'm Jon Richards, I'm a supervising social worker with Fusion Fostering.
I'm Helen Farnborough, I'm a foster carer with Fusion. I've been doing it for about 15 months now.
I'm Deb Jackson, I'm a foster carer and I've been fostering for about 18 months.
I'm Jade Jackson, I am a support worker and I have been doing it for a year.
It's quite strange at first, isn't it?
Having somebody different, it's not your family in the house.
In your house with you all the time, and you try and prepare yourself for it, and you have all the training and you do have lots of assessments and everything, but then when the first child comes,
panic.
Nothing can really prepare you for that. It's almost like saying, you can't really prepare yourself for having your own child, can you, before you've been a parent? And it's almost the same in a way, because there's someone living in your house, but you'd be surprised how quickly you settle down with them.
I think, because I haven't got any of my own children, when my first child arrived, I felt probably as vulnerable as that child did.
Mm-hmm.
Even though I know I'm an adult and I've got the support of Fusion around me to fall back on, so I know it's going to be a million times worse for that child, but it exposes you to a degree that how is this going to pan out, because you don't know what to expect, they don't know what to expect, and you've got to kind of sort of find a common ground somewhere. It is very scary for all involved.
Not just for them, it's scary for me as well, because you don't know what you're going to make the right choices or the right decisions or make the wrong mistakes or whatever, isn't it? And it's just like, oh my god, I haven't done this before.
It's much easier if you have a planned introduction, so you meet them first, they get to know you a bit, you get to know them.
That doesn't always happen.
It can't always happen. But
it's good if it can.
Absolutely, it makes it a lot easier and more relaxed for everybody.
Because you had that route, didn't you? Would you say it was easier, or were you still as anxious?
Well, we had a kind of half-planned introduction. We met her, we went to her respite, and we met her, and we got on really well. We thought she'd be a really good fit. But when she actually moved in with us, it was quite different. And I think part of that is coming from a family with no children. We're quite used to having our own space and our own time to ourselves. And a child, any child, whether it's yours or a foster child,
they come and invade your space.
Yeah, absolutely. And she was by my side for 2 months straight. But she was an incredible child, and you could see that she was struggling, to put anything into words. So she couldn't ask for help. She didn't know what she wanted. But the fact that, to get back to the original question, the fact that we had the introduction, we got to meet her first, and she came over, we took her out for tea and stuff like that. I think that was a really good way, and it meant that when she did move in, she was excited to move in. She was like, I'm going to go and live in Ruth the Pete's house, and she chose her room, and then every time one of you guys came round, she was like, I want to show you my room, and all of that. So it was much better, I think, than maybe if she was just dropped off. I expect she'd be a bit more nervous and stuff like that.
So I think the only question she had before she moved in was, can I get a hamster? That was a real focus for her, was getting a hamster.
Yeah, but it supported her through the moving in.
It did, because they were both coming in at the same time. It was a good transitional exercise, really, wasn't it?
Yeah, definitely.
How would you say the hamster helped her?
Well, Banksy.
The hamster was, I think it frustrated her because she wanted to be able to pick him up straight away, and she couldn't because she was scared. And then Jade came in and Jade picked her up, and she was like, I want to be like Jade.
Why did you do that? Just scooped him up.
By the time she left us, she was picking him up. But then that went the opposite way, so she was always picking him up. So like 10 o'clock in the morning when they're nocturnal, when she should have been at school, she was in a box playing a hamster. But yeah, I think it helped and hindered. But to have someone else that was something else that was going through the same thing, I think really helped her.
It's probably nice that again with something to focus on, you know, something new.
It's something that
Quite comforting, aren't they, pets? I think we've got guinea pigs, and they've with the foster children that we've had, they're brilliant. You know, they're just, no matter what the age, or the thing, oh, you know, child, teenage boy, not really interested in guinea pigs or whatever, they all love them, and they're very calming, and it gives them something to do, something to focus on, and kind of help them.
But that's like ours, isn't it? The dogs and that. Everybody we've had comes with us. They all like playing with the dogs and that, and it sort of gives them something to focus on, doesn't it?
And I find that, you know, we've got a child with us at the moment who's not very good at expressing his emotions, but he can express them to the pets as well, and that's really nice sometimes when you hear them talking to the pets, because you think, he does feel comfortable with me, you know, he just doesn't really know how to say it to an adult, you know, so that's a nice feeling.
Our cats have adopted a child each, so one sleeps in one room, one sleeps in the other, which is really nice.
Yeah.
So do you all have pets then?
Yeah,
We do.
Yeah.
I don't think it's compulsory for foster care.
I think it's something that goes hand in hand with people who should be fostering, because yesterday the care panel was within Bournemouth, said out of his 10 carers, only 2 of them don't have pets. Nearly all of them have dogs. So I'm wondering, you know, you naturally care animals, so it just carries over.
I don't have pets. I'm not an animal person. I'm fish.
Except for the hamster.
I'm a hamster. No. Alicia has a hamster.
Oh, right, okay.
Alicia's now left, so we've got that space.
Okay.
And well, yeah, that's yeah. So we don't do animals, but because we're really busy, we wouldn't be able to give it the time and effort. So.
I mean, our kids would get rid of the cats in an instant to have dogs. But we had the cats before we had the kids.
There's an interesting thing about the pets. When my first long-term foster placement, she had some little rodents called dagoos. So she didn't look after them, and I think she was searching for something to fill a void. And once the initial excitement of a couple of weeks, but typically, like most kids, lose interest in things. But she wasn't looking after them, so we did give them back to the pet store. And then she wanted guinea pigs because they were a little bit bigger and she could handle them more and what have you, but she didn't look after them either. And again, completely lost interest, but she was searching for something that she didn't have, and because she was a teenager, she couldn't verbalise what it was she needed. A bit like your 11-year-old. I mean, I find it difficult to verbalise what I need sometimes, so an 11-year-old and a 14-year-old is going to find it even harder. They went back as well because she just wouldn't look after them. But sometimes
for rent a pet.
Well, but I mean, the point I was going to make was that she actually felt that she was in competition. Ultimately, it became clear that she was in competition. So even though she was searching for affection, searching for attention, whether it be good or bad attention, she, pestered us for a dog, so we got a dog, but then she didn't like it because the dog needed attention. So it's a really fine balance to, even though that's what she said she wanted. Ultimately, actually, she didn't know. So it's interesting.
How are you supposed to know that when it's your first, when you first start?
But it's part of the learning process because I think any child that arrives, they're learning, you're learning, and ideally you'll learn together and you'll move together. Doesn't always work out that way, but even if it doesn't work out that way. And things don't work out and the child moves on, or you end the placement, you've always made a difference. Always, because, I mean, with that particular placement, it was a horrific ending. She was going to run away and all the rest of it, and, steal and get alcohol and get drugs and all the rest of it. And she did leave because I felt I couldn't keep her safe. And then within a couple of months, she's FaceTiming, she's messaging tentatively at first, and now it's took her out for her 18th birthday, seen her a few times.
So you do make a difference,
and she's actually now. She caught herself saying, "Love you." So you do make a difference.
They just can't see it right at that moment, can they?
You can't see it. Sometimes it gets so.
It's too involved, isn't it?
Yeah,
very intense.
It's
too intense. We've had our first placement like that.
But it's a lovely feeling to know that in a way my family's expanded.
It's lovely, even as you say, if a child has moved on. And when you see them, and I have kids that come up, give me a great big hug each time, and it's what you have to remember is that it's their journey and it's not yours, so you have to help them so far along the way, and then if the time comes when they do have to move on, it's about what they need to learn from someone else. But we're always there to support them, no matter what. It tends to be very clear when it is time for them to move, and very often the timing is the best for them, and it's also the best for you. So you have to be able to let them go. With a clear conscience and a good heart, and wish them well.
And you get to keep in touch, don't you, if it's appropriate.
Yes, absolutely.
And as you said, when a few months later a young person makes contact with you and wants to meet up and has good memories, it's an amazing feeling. You have made a difference.
Yeah, absolutely. Yes.
I mean, it is different, isn't it, from your own children? It's a different. It is a different thing. You don't you might feel a little bit sad when they go, and you do miss them, and your family misses them, and there's a change. But you get used to that, don't you? As children come and go, you get used to that feeling. You know that it's different.
And for the first time, I think someone said, I think it was Jon, said it will give you time to grieve. And that's exactly the process your brain goes through. You grieve the loss of that child. No, they haven't died, but they've moved on. And like you said, I imagine that gets not so easier, but you come to expect it.
Sometimes you know they're going. When we knew Charlotte was going
we knew one of ours was going, and everything was.
It's only short term.
Put in place, and that's you knew, but it was still like,
just have not to come home every day, like go hi.
But it's like if it all breaks down and that, and then they leave, and then it's like
or sudden.
And then you think, oh my god, what did I do wrong? I failed. I can't do this. I haven't done it right, and all that. But you have done it right because you couldn't have done anything else to make it any different.
That's right. It's like Claire says, ultimately, something in your head says, I can keep hanging on, but
you're going to burn out. It's not doing you any good. It's not doing them any good.
Well, that's the thing. It's about keeping them safe, and the more we're on the edge, the less able we are.
Absolutely.
I got to provide the care that needs to continue.
Where I didn't. I just didn't.
Compassion fatigue.
Compassion fatigue. I was there. I was totally there. And she didn't want to be in the house. I didn't want her in the house. It had totally broken down. And
the whole family as well, wasn't it? Everybody was just like, we don't want her here, and it's not nice to feel like that.
And after she went, it was like, I can't do this. What on earth made me become a foster care? I can't do this.
That's your first placement as well.
My first placement.
I think the support we get though is so crucial at that point. That's why we're so lucky, isn't it? Is that when things do go like that, there's all the people there, there's the whole team.
I couldn't have asked for any
come in and really help you, just help you cope, help you see what's going on.
It appears to me that we're a family, all of us. Whether that be carers or support workers or social workers. So, if anybody around this table ever needed to talk to somebody, you always have somebody that you could go to. And if you don't necessarily want the official support, of a supervising social worker, then you know that you'll get it from your core carers and your friends. Absolutely. And it's something that I don't think happens with any other agency. Other carers that I've spoken to, people who look after the siblings of children that we've had, it's something that doesn't exist in this way anywhere else.
Why I found really helped us was actually my supervising social worker told me to come and talk to another foster carer. He was like, I don't foster and I can't help you with this particular problem. And he sent me to you. Yeah, I pay for you. And that, just that hour chat, to know that I was alone, it made the world of difference. But yeah, like you said, it's a massive family. Like, I could ring John, I could ring Matt, I could ring Simon, I could ring anybody, and I would still get the exact same level of support. There's no, oh well, these are your carers, you've got to speak to this particular person. You're all
that's true. Well, I've noticed that, particularly if one social worker is not available or whatever. There's always one of you guys who can step in. This is Jade. You know that even if your supervising social worker is on holiday or whatever, you will still get that level of support. And you always do, and that is so valuable.
Even at night, there's always somebody there. Yes. Speak of the devil.
Oh, here he is.
Helen, why did you choose to foster?
I just felt that me and my husband, that we had that love there to give, and we just wanted to explore it and see if we could do something with it. And I really enjoy it. I definitely recommend it to anyone who wants to give it a go. Not easy, but I recommend it.
I chose to foster to make a difference, I guess, to their life, but also to make a difference to my life, because I've got 3 children that are grown up, and I'm a single carer, and I just felt like I needed to bring others into the house to give what I'd given to my children. So just to make a difference, I guess.
What do you do when you do, Jade?
Well, no, when I got into being a support worker, obviously because my mum was becoming a carer, I never actually thought about being, anything to do with, social work or caring or anything. It just never sort of crossed my mind. From a school age, I just went off and did other things. But obviously, Nigel used me for a bit of work to take children out, build like the bond with them and things like that, help the carers, and just from that day, I just absolutely loved it. When I started working for Fusion, it was only like bank staff, like 0 hours, and I just said, please can I have a full-time job, but they were like, no, we're not hiring. And then Nigel approached me and asked me, and straight away I was like, yes, please. I just really enjoy it. I love all of the children. I love building out the bond with them. I just enjoy it so much, and it does make a difference to their lives, which is obviously the best part of it.
Yeah, and you're incredible at it.
Oh, thank you.
I love you as well.
I just think like it's like a natural.
You're very natural.
Yeah, like it's natural for me. I don't have to like really try with them. I'm just like we're just like friends straight away, and we just get on really well. And it's just like I'm just one of their friends, and it's
You're
just
the right age.
Yeah, they relate to me well, obviously, because I'm a bit younger as well. No offence, you guys. Moving on.
I had always wanted to work with kids and never really had the opportunity. I had done a bit when I was younger and a bit of teaching and stuff like that, but nothing of any substance. And it was really my husband and my son who encouraged me to make the telephone call when I saw the initial advert. We called and left a message, and Nigel called us back within a couple of hours. He came to see us the following day, and the journey started.
The rest is history.
Absolutely, we did the Skills to Foster course, and then went on from there. It's not a quick process. It took probably about 18 months for us, I think. But it gives you time to explore how it's going to work, and to give yourself every chance of being good and successful at it.
Okay, very similar to you, Debs. I wanted to give back. I'm a scout leader, so I get to see kids hour a week, 2 hours a week. And there were kids in there that I knew I should be able to help, but as a scout leader, there's only so much I can do, so I thought, let's take it to the next step. We don't have our own kids, so we thought, we've got a spare room, we've got loads of energy, we've got loads of stuff to give, and we love doing cool stuff, so why not do it? Ours was different, ours was very, very quick through the process, wasn't it? And Nigel was at our house every day. But we were 5 months from start to finish, weren't we? And yeah, I wouldn't change it for the world. Yeah, it can be stressful, but I wouldn't change it for the world. Recommend it to everyone.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I decided, it was actually me that decided, and I had to work on my husband a little bit.
Same.
In that we had a very nice life. It was a comfortable life. We had both had decent jobs. My husband was a police officer, I was a registered nurse. So we had, we were financially safe, sound. We had spare rooms, and I just felt that I wanted to show kids that there are opportunities. There is another side of life. It can be exhausting, but it can be really, really rewarding as well. And my very first mum and baby, I'm off to spend the day with them tomorrow because it's the baby's first birthday.
Oh, wow.
So it's all good.
If you're interested in becoming a foster carer, please give us a call, message us, so there's always someone happy to help. Fusion Fostering.